having coffee today with Todd Price, dining writer for the paper.
The paper, the Times Picayune.
The Times Picayune.
Well, it's more than a paper, it's many things.
It's many, yes. Well, y'all are multimedia companies now, you know.
That's right.
I still do get the paper at my house.
I do too.
I'm the one.
You want my bosses to know I have a subscription.
But yeah, you do have a subscription. Because I just like going out, and first of all, I want all the neighbors to see me in my underwear, you know, going to get the paper. It's an important.
You can get a robe, you know.
and then like I don't know, like when I'm having my coffee and having the newspaper, I just like to print. I'm the youngest guy I think that has a print subscription to the paper, but I do just love. I like that. I like to just browse the paper, you know. So, so you're the dining writer.
Yes.
And so, how long have you been writing for the Picayune?
Well, I've been on staff a little over 3 years.
Okay.
But I was a freelance writer for the paper for 5 years before that. When I was freelancing, I was pretty much exclusively covering drinks with some dining coverage.
Okay.
But I've been a dining writer here in New Orleans since 2004.
Okay. Because, I mean, what a cool, and everybody, and one of the reasons why I would really want to have you on the show, too, is because, like, what a cool job.
It is.
Like,
I never forget that, you know?
Like, that is huge. Like, people are like...
I try not to complain publicly. Actually, Brett Anderson and I are critic. Sometimes we'll complain, like, oh my God, we have to go to this festival and eat a lot of food. He's like, yeah, but we can never complain to anybody else about it. Like, I got you, but no one else. Never say that, it's a great job. It is. It's amazing that I have the opportunity to do this.
You can hustle free food wherever you
Well, no.
I
mean, we have very strict rules.
About what you can...
we have an expense account and we charge it all. Even if a chef knows I'm there and tries to send out an extra dish, then I say, you got to put it on the bill. Well... you're putting me in an ethical quandry here. Yeah. I didn't pay for the coffee either. So,
well, hey, the guests of the show always get a free cup of coffee. So what are you drinking too?
I'm drinking medium roast.
Medium roast.
Yeah, and you told me what it was, and I forgot. It was an African.
An African Rwandan.
It's really nice. Got a little half. I always put half and half in my.
In your coffee.
In my coffee.
Yeah. And Micha over at Fete Au Fete, he's like, what? You've got Todd Price on? Hold on, let me go. He's a media whore. What can I say?
All right, here we go.
Oh, yeah, we got a... And if you want to try mine, that's totally...
That's good.
This is one of my breakfasts I get from him all the time. This is his...
Yeah, I need this because I was out dining. Got home at midnight. For some reason, woke up at 5 a.m., which was...
So, when I was in San Francisco... which is a foodie town.
Yeah, I think San Francisco, New Orleans, Portland probably as well.
But let me tell
you talk about the big foodie cities. We're in there.
So I was there.
Yeah.
And this was my, we went for our honeymoon a couple of years back. Right. And we didn't get where to eat first. You know, we should have. We should have gotten a list, but we didn't. We were we're getting married and everything was So we get there and we're asking people where to go eat, and they're like, oh, this is San Francisco, this is a big food town. You need to go here, you need to go here, this is delicious, you're gonna love this. Where are you from? It's like, oh, we're from New Orleans. And they're like, oh, there's no place good to eat here. And I was like, oh my God, this is so you as the food writer. Do you think, what is this, people must be online reading your stories.
I hope so.
Ideally.
That is the idea, yeah.
But, so, you've got a good mix of, outside versus inside. Yeah. Because the world now is looking at the food scene here in New Orleans.
Yeah, individuals, other publications, magazines, newspapers, they're all writing about us as well. So.
Yeah, that's so hard for me to wrap my mind around.
I think we're well aware that we have a national, international audience for our food coverage, and we take that into account. I think in some, when we do a dining guide or a bar guide or a top 10. But I really think day in, day out, we're writing for the locals. And I think that's what we should be doing. And I think that's primarily what the people from outside want to see.
Yeah. That's what they're looking for. What is New Orleans eating?
Right, exactly.
And then, of course, I sell coffee to a lot of restaurants, and we sell coffee to coffee companies that sell other restaurants. So when I'm talking to you about this, I don't want to call. We're going to try to have a conversation here.
Oh, I see.
Yeah,
you're not going to name your customer.
I don't want to name names.
You don't want to name drop your customer. I got you.
Because I want to talk bad about things that you write about too, and I don't want to name drop that either. Because one of the things that I've noticed too is that I don't want to say you get stuck on certain restaurants.
Oh no! Who?
Yeah, you see, I know it's going to be hard for us to have this conversation.
Yeah.
But when you like, how do you decide like? This guy is worth like, okay, he's been like jumping around from restaurant to restaurant, failing all over town.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna now I've got to like, is it kind of like, oh shoot, I thought he was gonna do good. Now I got to keep following him because I got to follow his story, or is it like do you really believe like this chef that I'm writing about right now is just so good? I want to see him succeed. I'm trying to
Right. There's a mix. I mean, my role at the paper, I have a lot of roles in the dining beat, but primarily when they hired me, they said, treat this like it's another news beat. That's your primary role. You're the news reporter. You're looking at what's happening, the new, the different, any kind of news story, develop that. And so, again, because we're online, it's not like every week I have to fill 800 words and put a feature. It might be that I write 3 paragraphs about something, and if it's a news story and you follow it and there's another development, then you follow it. But there is a point where, you don't want to just keep writing about somebody who's not succeeding, because at some point, you have to cut ties. But then again, if somebody's interesting and they keep moving around
and do it,
if you wrote about the first move, or like maybe somebody...
And like I said, I know this is hard to do without specifically talking about
maybe
people.
somebody got kicked out of their restaurant and you wrote about that, and then they open a stall at Sand Rock Market. Well, it seems like that's the follow-up. If you wrote about them leaving a place, then it's almost necessary to finish the story and write about them going to a place.
Yeah, because the comment section, which is the real reason I would go to the website, because I do get the paper. That's what I want to see.
More photos too.
Videos. But the comments.
The comments.
So but it's funny because and especially on the food thing, people are like, this guy sucks, but this woman sucks, and why do you keep writing this story about this? But then it is funny too, and on the flip side of that, sometimes I'll go eat somewhere, and I'm like, man, this is one of the best restaurants in the city that no one ever talks about. And I want them to succeed, but then I want to keep it that way too, because I like the fact that I can get in this place.
See, I don't keep any secrets.
You can't.
But I think you raise a good point. This is something we're trying to tackle this year. When you write about places that are new because it's newsworthy. You write about sort of these higher end places that make the top 10. How do you cover places that have been around, aren't making news, but are still worth talking about? And so we're kind of launching, hey, I'm going to announce it right here. We're committing. Brett and I are launching a project this year, which hopefully will just become a regular part of our coverage, where we're going to look at kind of neighborhood, family-owned, long-running restaurants. And it's not a review.
That's great, because this is what I was talking about.
It's not a review, but we feel like ethically, we don't write about places we haven't eaten at. So if someone says you should really go try this, we're going to go try it.
Right.
We're not saying that you should rush across town, but it's good.
Right.
And this, what we want to focus on, we want to tell the stories. A vignette about the history, or maybe the regulars are the story, and you interview them, or maybe there's a family history. Or maybe we just want to capture the atmosphere of the place and tell you about this. So that's going to be. I'm trying to do those a couple of times a month.
Okay, that's good.
Throughout the year, I think we're going to call it Where New Orleans Eats.
That's super cool.
Yeah, and just kind of trace this fabric, and there's a lot to that. I mean, there's the places we think of in New Orleans. There's Latino places in Kenner. There are Vietnamese places.
Oh, it's
there's
so
Kano Sushi.
You can eat any food from almost around the world.
They all have stories. Like I think about Kano Sushi out by the mall.
Okay.
I love that place. Elvis is the name of the sushi chef, and you go in there, and there are these. You can tell, it's full of these regulars, and they go there all the time, and they know him, they know what they want. They're as interesting to me as a restaurant in a way, because, So
because it's so funny because the art, I guess the newsworthy restaurants, which my brother actually started to refer to the warehouse district as the foodie district.
Yes, it's pretty much hotels and restaurants with a few condos thrown on top.
So. Because but those restaurants, I can't take my grandfather to.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And
and you may not want to eat there every day. You don't want to have lunch there, maybe, but maybe you want to go there on a weekend. But the places you want to have lunch, those are the kind of places we want to.
Because it's
tell
places
their story.
Places I'm going to bring my uncle to, and places that I'm going to bring that my wife and I are going to go to, are going to be totally separate.
Right.
And then what do you think? I mean, now that we've been, I guess, established a little bit here at St. Roch Market.
Yes.
I mean, I guess I have opinions on St. Roch, of course, as well. But just from your food writing thing, I guess we're so in it all the time.
Yeah.
So like, and I guess I'll name drop this, but New Orleans Magazine, readers voted us like best coffee,
right?
Which is crazy.
Right.
I mean,
yeah,
it's like,
I saw that. It was awesome.
I mean, yeah, it's like, and then I thought somebody photoshopped it and sent it to me. I'm like, come on, So
it's like one of those Time Man of the Year thing where they
yeah,
stick look, you're Man of the Year.
Yeah, exactly.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, I'm like, look, because it was like, because the rest of the list was, what you'd expect to see on a list like that.
Yeah.
And like,
coffee has gotten so much better in this town. I mean, you're a part of that. And,
oh yeah.
It's French truck and all the baristas who are taking. I mean, it's amazing. Like
it is definitely
bread and coffee in this city in the last couple of years. I mean, the quality of bread and the quality of coffee, like those two things.
But
it's insane. Like how much.
For me, especially with me with coffee, my whole thing is I try not to go too far off the. Like, in other words, I make a really great coffee and chicory.
Yeah.
And I'm really proud of that.
Yeah.
Because it's part of, like, what we're about. You know what I mean? Like, I don't... And, of course, Harry back there, he's slinging latte art like crazy and doing all that stuff. And that's awesome. And we got the
Do you sell just the chicory? I know I've had that before. You can just...
Yeah, just coffee. Oh, yeah.
Just chicory.
Yeah, we do that. So some people have different... So, like, my uncle, he loves more chicory because he's, an old
so they can mix it themselves.
So I give him coffee and chicory, and he mixes it to his specifications.
I think of one event you had just the chicory, and I tasted it. It reminded me of, like, an Amaro, but non-alcoholic.
Yeah.
I love Amaros. It was like, it's a morning Amaro. But unfortunately, no caffeine.
No caffeine, yes.
Yeah,
but
it's kind of a downside. I have to say, that's probably the main reason I don't drink much chicory coffee is because it doesn't...
It cuts the caffeine.
Yeah, when I do, I feel a little jittery. I need or not jittery enough, I guess.
Not jittery enough, right.
I need a little more kick in the morning.
Because it's so funny because like you were like saying back to what I was... it kind of lets people in this realm here, in this concept, I guess, focus down on... I didn't want to do as a and look, most coffee shops around town have food.
Yeah.
I'm not a food guy. I'm a coffee roaster.
Right.
And so this allows me to kind of focus down on coffee. And that, and then the rotating vendors, which I don't think is a bad thing, which I think is a great thing actually, to change the cuisines in here.
Right.
And how do you think that unlike a restaurant, like, okay, this is Mandina's and it's Mandina's forever.
Yeah.
Like this place will constantly be kind of changing.
Right.
I mean, do you think this is? Would you call this a hub of new food in town, or what's the?
I think so. I mean, you look at the people who have spun out of here as they moved on. I mean, certainly there's, it's attracted a lot of people who are doing interesting things.
Yeah.
I think of it in a way a lot like food trucks in this town.
Yeah.
And I think, they sometimes get this reputation of being sort of these hipstery places, but they're very, I mean, you look at who owns food trucks, there's a lot of, it's a way for people to get into a business.
I will throw in here, since we're talking food critics and that, and I have never called him out on the show before, but Tom Fitzmaurice did come in here and blast the hell out of me.
Oh, you? Why?
He was like, hipsters don't know how to make cafe au laits and stuff like that, and I'm like, I'm from Chalmette, so,
Chalmette's getting really hip. I don't know if you've been down to
Araby and that is definitely.
Araby's the new Bywater, I hear.
That's what they want you to believe. That's it. But they, that's their marketing slogan. Anyway.
Is it really?
No, I don't think so. I don't
but
think it is. No.
There are some really cool things going on.
It is super cool. Yeah. But it's funny because it's just funny that this place has such a reputation of being so hip and forward and progressive that when somebody like Tom Fitzmaurice comes in here and reviews it, he's automatically throwing me in that category when I'm the furthest thing from that.
Right,
category.
and I think you get that. Bywater's a hipster place, and isn't, and it has a lot of history. You know? And not. I think you have to look behind or beyond that and kind of see what's actually happening.
Right.
A lot of interesting things are happening all across the city.
Yeah.
I mean,
okay, well, so, barbecue popped up, and that was a big thing. What do you think?
Barbecue still is a big thing.
It is. It is a big thing.
I was just out at LA 23 Barbecue in Belle Chase, which is unbelievable.
Really?
It's so good. Yeah.
Well, so I'm saying, what's the next thing? What's the next thing?
I don't do predictions, but...
You don't do predictions?
No, because they're going to be wrong. I don't know. I mean, okay. It's not a prediction because it's happening. But I think you see in the city and it's mainly driven, I think, by natives, this return to New Orleans cuisine. And you saw this, I think, it's gone now, but I think when you saw Frank Brightson's take over Charlie's, it was taking this place, it was kind of a neighborhood staple.
Yeah.
Not making it fancy, not making it a place, to impress the glossy food magazines, but just doing what we used to do, but doing it better. Because I think, frankly, there's a lot of corners cut all across town. People are trying to make money, and I think quality...
It's a hard business. Restaurants are a hard business to do.
And I think, quality may not be the same as it was everywhere at these neighborhood places. And so you see that, and you see, like, Susan Spicer and Shaggy opening
I want to go
Rosedale.
I can't
and you
wait
go
to
there,
try
and
that.
you get a bowl of gumbo, and you're like, wow, the depth of flavor. Because, they took the care and did every step and did it intensely. And again, they're, Station 6 with Allison Vega kind of doing the same thing. Kind of a nicer version of Bucktown
food.
And so I think we're going to see more of that. Bevy Seafood, I don't know if I mentioned, as another one. Corner Seafood Market, po' boys and plate lunches, but done really, really well.
Done really, really well. And I think that's a big thing, too, because
I think some of it is a reaction to, I think it's great that we have this explosion of diverse cuisine after Katrina.
Oddball, weird cuisine.
Yeah, and that's great. But I do think you look at who's driving this return to some of the traditions, and they tend to be natives. Susan, military, but she settled here. Like, this is as much home as she's ever had.
And I need a place to bring my
Shaggy's
grandfather
a native. And the guy from Bevy's a native. These are all native New Orleanians who are kind of, I think, going back to their roots. And that's great. I love that.
Because it's funny. And I do love all of the. I am not ashamed to say I think Ma and Pa Foods was one of my favorite restaurants. That was the biggest not New Orleans cuisine.
And I love that Michael Galata is doing Mofo. And I haven't been to Maypop yet, but what he's doing is really fun. I was just over at Margie's Grill yesterday on Broad. There's a guy from Urbsen who's just kind of doing his own riffs on Southeast Asian with grilling, and it's low key and it's inexpensive and it's awesome.
And it's awesome, which is great.
And this is great. Or Red's Chinese, I love it down here. It's wacky.
It's
delicious.
It's delicious. It's wacky, affordable, and delicious.
Yeah, and these are
more do
things
you want than that?
Before Katrina, we wouldn't have seen that.
No.
But I think there were two waves of kind of restaurant growth after Katrina.
Yeah, and I do like what you're saying because we probably see more locals here at the coffee shop because they're coming to get coffee every day. But we've got a good tourist to local mix, I would think, that come in the market here.
Yeah,
and they ask, where's a great place to get jambalaya?
Right.
And I'll look at them and I say...
Well, that's a hard question because there's not a lot of great places. You want a bowl of gumbo, I can send you somewhere.
Yeah, but it would like jambalaya, and it's true.
Red beans as well. I make them at home. What do you...
This return to New Orleans cuisine. Yeah. Where is a good place they can... my house. I don't know where else. I have no idea.
There's not many places that are doing
So this return to... What you're saying is return to New Orleans cuisine. Right. Yeah, can someone do a phenomenal jambalaya?
Right. Here's where you get an amazing turtle soup. Here's where you get
this
just food that's seafood that's fried perfectly.
It never occurred to me before when they asked, where do we go get jambalaya?
Right.
It's like, I don't know. I'm going to put some on tonight, so if y'all want to come on over.
It's really funny. I was in Miami on vacation the week before Christmas, and everybody kept asking about jambalaya. All these, the staff at the hotel, like, oh, you're from New Orleans? I hear about this jambalaya. What's that like? Well, they wanted to know about it. Like, we love rice. I guess because of the Cuban. They were really obsessed because it was a rice dish. And they wanted to quiz me about it. I'm like, all right.
Okay, you know what we've done now? We've talked about jambalaya. There's going to be a quinoa jambalaya place that's going to pop up. And it's going to be all our fault right now.
I will not take the blame for the quinoa jambalaya. That's all on you, man. It's all on you.
Todd, thank you so much for coming by, man. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely, anytime.
It's so cool to it's so cool to talk food with you and to have coffee. And you make me nervous when I make your cup because I don't want you to get on the I don't want you to get on the interwebs there and blast me.
No, I don't do that.
But anyway, thank you so much.
Absolutely,
Yes, take care and come back soon.
You bet.
Yeah.